Hey, I'm Butterfly.
Hey, I'm Firefly.
Have you ever wondered if we aren't being told the truth about everything?
What have we been lied to about? Join us as we have conversations and ask questions about everything. We invite you to keep an open mind and consider the unfathomable.
Let's break the chains that enslave our minds. Come on, let's go down the rabbit hole.
What's up, Butterfly?
Hey, Firefly, what's going on?
Dude, we're going to do another episode. So, we're kind of dealing with some heavy topics. We always
Awesome.
are.
Well, yeah,
We always are. But we're going to break open another can of worms here.
this one might not be as heavy duty as some of the other ones that we've dealt with because a lot of people don't really I don't know, believe in this topic or like really think
I
that
don't
it's
know.
valid,
So we're
but
talking about horoscopes and
astrology
astrology. I
and
think a lot of people lend some credence to it. I mean, how many people probably read their horoscope from time to time?
right.
And they might,
I think a lot of people do that. I think a lot of people read their horoscope like in the, like people used to read it in the paper, but now they just go online and
and
you know.
people kind of give it a little credence. Like even like your fortune cookie. You read your fortune cookie,
Correct.
there's kind of like, well, I don't,
Yeah.
not like a religion, but you're kind of going, ooh, that kind of fits.
Yeah, right. And so I think what our question is your life determined by the stars?
A lot of people lend a lot of credence to what sign you were born into and all of these seasons.
Right. It's kind of funny we're doing this one now because our previous episode was about the Bible.
Yeah.
And I've heard in the past, because I do actually kind of believe, I believe that there's something to the timing of your birth. Um, and when you talk to some Christians about that, they think it's like blasphemy almost or like anti-Christian, but I don't agree with that because God created the stars and the planets, right?
Yes.
So why wouldn't there be some aspect to the moment of your birth um, and how the stars and the planets are aligned at that very moment and place? You know,
There might be significance to that. I
I
think
think
what God gets mad in the Bible, he says, don't be trying to divine what your future is and what your destiny is by looking at the stars. Trust in me. That's what he's saying.
okay. Well, I don't necessarily think that, you're gonna like plan your future or whatever around
But
the stars.
what if like so you're what was your sign again?
I'm a Scorpio.
You're a Scorpio.
Yeah.
So what if being born at that time of year, you are maybe going to have these certain character traits and these certain personality traits? Could that be real? Maybe.
I think it is. I mean, like I hear a lot of people who don't believe in any of it and they say, "Oh, if you look at any of the horoscopes, you can find truth in it." But I don't know. I consistently find that like for my sign, the descriptions about like personality traits to be pretty accurate and spot on for
Yeah.
the way that I feel about things and like the way that I don't know, just like I don't know, the way I see the world, I guess. And so my sign is supposed to be very passionate and very, I can tend to be secretive, or mysterious, I guess. And I know that I do have a lot of passion in like everything I do. I feel very strongly about things and,
Yeah,
you know,
I see that in you.
but there's more to it than just like, so that's like your sun sign is like the time of month that you were born, like the month that you were born in or the date. But there's all these other parts to your sign too, which kind of make up like your whole personality, according to what astrologers say, which
Let me
is,
just ask one question though.
yeah.
Could it be one of those things where um, some people might kind of mold themselves into what it says that they are and go, oh, yeah, that is me.
I
And
think
go, well, it's maybe you're wanting to believe that that's you.
Yeah, I think that definitely can happen for sure. Um, and I wonder about that sometimes, but then like sometimes I will like I don't read my horoscope or whatever for like months or years or whatever, and then maybe I'll check it out again and I start looking at stuff and I'm like, whoa, that's really interesting because of things that I did and choices I made. And it kind of goes along with what it said that would fit my personality.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like several years ago, I had like this whole chart done. Like I
Mm.
went to this lady and she takes like the time of your birth, the day, like the place you were born in, all this stuff. And she makes it like really specific. So it's not just like your birthday. It's like a whole thing, like all about you.
Mm.
And so there's like all these different signs involved. And then she kind of like told me like different kind of things that might be helpful for like my career or whatever. Um, and I thought that it was really interesting. I didn't like take it and go, okay, I'm going to plan my life around this. You know what I mean? But it was sort of enlightening because I felt like it described a lot of aspects about me that made me sort of understand maybe why I feel certain ways about things. And
So perhaps there's a kernel of truth in it, and maybe that's why astrology is such a prevalent thing in
mhm.
society.
Yeah, and like when I read, like so I printed up this, I did a chart online like a week or so ago, and I printed it up and it like breaks down, like, okay, your sun sign is this, your moon sign is this, your Mercury is in this. It like goes into all these different things, like based on the exact time and place that you were born. And I mean, reading it just like it makes a lot of sense to me and I feel like it can help you understand maybe the why you feel certain ways about certain things and it might actually help other people in your life understand things like for example um it said that my moon is in Libra and I'm affectionate, warm, and friendly, and life must be a beautiful experience for me. Unpleasantness should be avoided at all costs. And that is like so true. It also said
I
that
wish I could avoid unpleasantness.
my Venus is also in Libra, and it says I have an innate desire to be in refined and elegant surroundings and will go out of my way to create a plush and comfortable atmosphere. Doesn't that sound like me?
Totally.
You've been to my house,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I actually feel uncomfortable when I'm like not in pleasant surroundings. Like
Mhm.
I if I'm going to go out to eat, for example, I I kind of like ambiance is just as important to me if not more so than the food.
Yeah.
Like, I would rather stay home and just cook dinner at my house than go out and just get food. Like, getting the food is not really the important part to me. Like, I don't want to just fill my stomach. I want to go out and have an experience that is beautiful, and I want to be in some place beautiful and um like that's more important to me. Like I have to have like nice things around me. And some people might be like, "Oh, that sounds very like snobby." But see, this is my point in this whole thing is that
Mm.
I think understanding these aspects to your personality and like maybe like, people in your life understanding those things, like it's not because I'm being snobby, it's because these are the things that actually make me feel happy
Yeah.
and make me comfortable.
I know.
You know
I
what
can
I mean?
totally see that.
Yeah.
And you just you want to have your experience here on Earth be a spectacular, beautiful one,
Yes,
right?
exactly, exactly. Like I like to be in pretty places. I like to go, experience places in the world that are
And
beautiful.
look how hard you work to create that for yourself.
Right.
So you're not just going to sit around and just allow ugliness.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's part of the reason that you're against the culture club, because the
Mm-hmm.
culture club is kind of foisting on you like drab dystopia, minimalism.
Totally. And that goes against everything that is in me, you know? And um another part of my astrological whatever I am
Yeah,
um always points to the fact that I'm interested in, like mysterious and unknown things, and I'm a rebel. Does that sound like me?
that's pretty much the nature of our show.
Yeah, I question everything. I don't go along with the mainstream narrative, and I rebel against it. So, I mean, I'm sure that some people might say, well, you can find truth in all of them. Well, it's true, but
No, but those are specific character traits.
yeah, the more detailed things I read about,
Like, I'm not like that.
yeah.
I don't need to have ambiance. I can go and grab
You could
myself
go to Jack in the Box and be happy.
totally. And I'm stuck. If the food's good, I'll sit in a disgusting room. I don't care.
Yeah,
But and also, I don't really care how I'm dressed. I don't.
yeah,
I don't care about like if the hotel is a dive, the bed's comfortable.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
See,
So that's not me.
yeah,
So
and that,
those aren't just universal truths. Those
no,
are specific things that pertain to you.
exactly.
I'm a rebel. I'm a rebel.
Yeah.
I'm a rebel too.
And we should have done your chart. I We should have done that before this
My,
episode
you know what?
so we could have like
Some girl did my chart.
oh
I
really?
don't know what my chart or whatever. She goes, "What? When were you born?" And I told her the day I was born. And then she was like, "Well, it says here you're gonna have a life that's kind of wrought with conflict. Like you have an inner conflict going on." And I was like, "I
Sounds
didn't."
like you.
I was like, "I don't need to. I don't need you to tell me." You know?
But that actually kind of sounds like tarot cards or something. Like I don't know if your
Maybe.
astrological chart is going to tell you that you're going to have a life wrought with conflict.
Yeah. Well, she
But
was like saying, "I'm a cusp, so I'm a Leo Cancer cusp."
actually, you're not because you told me your birthday. You're Cancer.
But it depends. You look sometimes, and my birthday's cusp. So
Oh,
it's kind of one of those things. And then what she was kind of putting forth was this notion like, yeah, unfortunately, you're on a weird cusp where you have like these
you're
two
unfortunate.
contrary things going on
Uh-huh.
inside you because of the fact that, I guess cancers are completely different than Leos.
Yeah, they are. Totally.
So, that's why I haven't lent a lot of credence to it because the news is kind of
It's kind of well,
bad.
that's kind of like taking a blue pill because you don't want to face the truth.
Maybe.
So the way I look at it is maybe if you kind of like study like all the aspects of it and try to figure out your personality traits a little bit better based on like the stars and the planets that were aligned at the time of your birth, you might be able to better understand your
Totally.
situation.
And who knows
Yeah.
what that girl was reading. I was just trying to get laid.
She's
I don't know.
she sounds like an amateur.
She probably was. She was not like someone. And then I had this one dude, because I went to college up in Santa Cruz, and there's all kinds
Oh
of
yeah.
this stuff up there. That's
Yeah.
like where the hippies
That's
got.
kind of like headquarters for this
And they
kind of
got
stuff.
patchouli, and they
Patchouli and
got
like
hairy
dream
tits,
catchers.
and they got dream catchers, and they go, "Come here." And so I had this one dude who was a black dude, and he comes up to me on the street and he goes, "Come here, come here." He goes, "Let me show you." And he goes, then he shows me these cards, and he's got these special cards. And he goes, "See what this is?
Uh-huh.
This is the cat and the mouse. You're the cat and the mouse. You're always chasing the mouse.
Whoa.
You gotta let go of the mouse."
Was
And I
that
was like,
was it kind of batting the mouse around?
"Yeah, yeah, yeah." I was like, "Thanks, dude." I didn't even look for that. I was just coming down here for a burrito, and now I got like a compliment.
See,
But
yeah, I don't know. I don't believe in like the tarot card thing because I feel like they're just pulling cards out of a stack that they could pull out a different one at any time. Like, how is that just like
yeah,
they just happen to pull that one out and
it kind of made sense
that's
though.
that's
And
your
the guy was like, "Dude, that's accurate, but I'm bummed out." But you're right. I mean, probably, maybe that is. If I think about my life, like maybe it is a cat and mouse game. Maybe I'm always chasing what I can't have.
maybe.
Maybe, and I'm like, damn. Okay, well, I'm hungry.
I think, but I do think that I do believe that, you know, we're in this world, whatever shape that is. And, if God created the stars and the planets and everything, and then created us, and we're born at a specific time when those things are lined up in a certain way, I feel like that can definitely affect who we are. Here's another little thing about me on my chart. Um, the node, I'm not sure what that is in Pisces, and it says, you're attracted to others who need your assistance. You seem to go out of your way to form relationships with those who are weak, sick, injured, addicted, or troubled in some way or other. At your best, you can indeed provide the relief that some others need, but at times you can be victimized by those who would prey on your good nature and take advantage of you.
Mm,
How many times have you heard me talk to you about that?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
right.
been really nice to people who have taken advantage of me, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I was trying to help them out, and then they end up,
You know what I think happens to you a lot
I'm too
is
nice.
you're nice. No, but you're nice, but people are jealous of you a lot of times because you got it going on, and a lot of people don't. And they're jealous of you, and your kindness gets taken advantage of because they're mean.
Maybe.
A lot of times I've heard you're kind of a similar situation. So I get it, you know. So what you need to do is you need to be like cognizant of that, but
More
maybe
discernment.
and maybe that's astrology that determined that, but or it could be like just you're a good person. You really you your conscience burdens you if you're doing something wrong.
It's true.
And that has ramifications too,
Yeah,
just that in itself.
right.
I remember there's a part in the Bible where King Saul, who was the first king of Israel, he consults a medium because he's freaking out because the army is coming to attack him, and he goes and he's supposed to wait for Samuel, who's like the seer, but Samuel died. So he was like the prophet, and
Mm-hmm.
he was the one who God spoke to go and give instructions, but now he died. So he goes to a medium,
Mm-hmm.
which is illegal, totally get killed for that, but he's the king, so he's doing it. And he conjures up Samuel from the dead, and Samuel comes and brings him a message from the dead. So that's in the Bible
Mm-hmm.
that people can be mediums and communicate with the dead. So, what I'm saying is, I know that's not astrology per se, but that's like Sue's saying, there is a kernel of truth in these things, and there are maybe these are like disciplines
Yeah,
and practices, kind of like math.
right. Yeah. I mean, some people get really into it. I mean, obviously there's astrologer, like professional astrologers that like do these charts and like tell you all this stuff. And I think that's really interesting. But and I think like they probably know a lot more about it, which makes it, they kind of have more of a knowledge base about like the details. Actually, there's these two that I like that wrote this book that I really like called Momstrology. And it breaks down like every possible sign with um, every sign of child. So, like, you could say, like, oh, I'm a Scorpio mom and I have a, Scorpio child or whatever. And it tells you, like,
The
the
dynamics.
dynamics of the relationship at various ages,
Hmm.
and whether it's a male or female, whatever. So, and I've read this book and I find it to be really helpful. Like it's got,
That's cool.
yeah, and I've like put in other like, situations like, oh, let's just pretend like I had like my child was this other sign, and the advice doesn't really work. So that kind of makes me think like what they wrote out, it kind of really does make some sense. Like I've seen it
That
in my life,
it
you know.
gonna,
Yeah,
to thine own self be true.
right.
And whatever resonates with you, whether you want to admit it or not. Maybe you might get some grief from Christian people that are like, oh my God,
Yeah.
not the Bible.
Right.
But who cares? It's speaking to you, it's resonating with you. You're responding to that stimuli and saying, you know what, this resonates with me. That's how I started having a podcast with you.
Right.
You listen to like your heart and you go, this resonates with me. I'm connecting with this.
Yeah.
That's so, whatever. Go with it. Go with it. I say go with it. I
Hmm.
say if something resonates and it feels good, go with it. And
And
if
if
something
it's not hurting anybody, you know?
and if it's wrong, I think eventually you'll be like, you know what? Because I
Yeah.
find something will not sit right with you. And you'll be like, that doesn't gel with me.
Hmm.
My spirit isn't aligned with that,
Right.
you know? But if your spirit is aligned with it, then go with it.
Totally.
And who's to say that you're completely off base? I mean, um, people have told me that the full moon has a very powerful impact on people.
Oh, I think it does. I think it totally does
You know?
because it affects the tides. And I think the whole thing about like werewolves.
Yes.
I mean, that's like kind of an urban legend, but I think there's somewhere that whole
Those are born out of
story,
truth
they're born out of truth. Yeah. And so werewolves come out at the full moon,
because the
right?
moon brings out desire,
And it brings out, yeah, like
mysticism.
wild animals,
Like
Yeah.
we had a big, huge full moon the other night, and I
I
remember,
saw it the next day. It was out all day.
yeah,
Isn't that weird?
it's so
Isn't it
cool.
supposed to go to 99?
Mhm. South Korea was a flat Earth.
On our spinning
Could
thing.
be, could be. And so, anyways, I was looking at the plasma or the moon, whatever, and I was thinking it was just such a spectacular summer evening.
Yeah.
Violet sunset, and then it turned into this beautiful moonrise, and it stirred up desire in me. Like I
Like
felt
a werewolf?
kind of
Oh.
you could look at it as a werewolf or
Did you
a
go out?
vampire.
Did you?
I just kind of was
I
moonstruck.
feel like I'm watching an episode of Twilight.
Totally. Like I felt moonstruck. Like I just felt like dreamy and filled with
You were
desire.
Jacob one minute and Edward the next.
Exactly. I did a
Was it Jacob?
transformation.
Was that his name?
I, you
Jacob?
know what? When you go to Twilight, all I know is how annoying that dude seemed to me. I've never watched one episode, and I never read one of those thick books. Have you
I
seen the
did.
size?
I read all of them.
You read all of them. Oh, well, dude, that's like my aunt too. She was all over it. Like every time I walk in, she's sitting there with, like, it's thicker than the Bible.
I
It's
know.
gnarly, those books.
Um,
But what I was saying
yeah.
was I didn't really relate with that, but I really liked Anne Rice Interview with the Vampire. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
that. So there is a kernel of truth in that. Like
There's
what
something about the
happens with the
full moon.
vampire on the full moon is maybe it's a metaphor.
Yeah.
The werewolf of the
Totally.
vampire.
Totally.
But the full moon is definitely like a key thing. So it's affecting us in our moods and it's affecting us spiritually. So maybe there's some credence to that, you know? So I don't know. I feel like this was a good unpacking because you know, people want to find out who they are.
Yeah.
That's what
You
I think
know
it
what?
is.
That's what it is. I think people want to know the meaning of life.
Yeah.
People want to know where we're going. I think most people do, and that's why a lot of people read
I
the
think some
Bible.
people have a passion that's undefined and unfulfilled, and they're yearning for something.
Well, and if they can find out, like, some people read the Bible and it's sort of a roadmap for them. And I think maybe astrology is another way that helps people, or people think that it helps them to understand themselves better, and
Maybe what people ultimately want is the fulfillment of those passionate desires. And astrology can be, perhaps for some people, a roadmap to fulfillment of those desires because you're identifying who you are, and maybe then you can start to clearly identify what you desire. Because if you have a yearning undefined, you can't fulfill it. But
right.
if you can start to define it, then you can start to fulfill it.
and sort of figure out what makes you tick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Being real with yourself, because I think
yeah.
a lot of people just suppress so much of themselves and just go, well, I don't get to fulfill that aspect of my life, or I don't get to realize those dreams.
Mhm.
And maybe that's what, because astrology is always kind of placing the onus on you, right?
Mhm.
It always seems to be saying, hey, you can have this.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to be unlocking this. And it's always kind of hinting at this idea like, what you've been doing up until now is exactly what you were supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Or maybe, you can just look at these aspects of your life in a slightly different viewpoint and you'll be headed in the right direction, you know?
It seems like that. It seems like when you read your astrology or your horoscope, it seems like what it's doing is kind of guiding you and affirming. It's kind of guiding and affirming.
Right.
And it's saying, yeah, 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 no, 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 you're going the right way. Keep going this way.
Yeah.
And based on who you are, this is where you're headed. And this is who you are. And this is what's going to be awesome for you.
Yeah.
And people like that,
Yeah.
because,
Totally.
otherwise you kind of feel like, well, my life is just
Yeah.
whatever.
Like you're kind of like lost in the woods.
There's a promise there, kind of like, oh, there's something awesome coming your way.
It's like a fortune cookie.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe people like that. It's a white pill. It's kind of a white pill.
It kind of is. I don't think it's evil. I can't really see like an evil aspect to it.
Can people take false white pills?
Those are blue pills.
That's a blue pill.
That's a blue pill.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I guess the Bible and the horoscope can be blue pills if you're
Mm.
taking them as false hope, or what's the term that
And
they
not
always use?
question.
Hopium.
Yeah.
They call it hopium.
I think you have to,
You gotta be realistic.
take it with a grain of salt and like everything, I question everything. But when you do find truth in something, and it sort of maybe helps you in a way, I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Well, your conscience would convict you if there was.
It sure would.
You know?
Yeah.
I think there's no problem in being curious about these things. I know people who lend a lot of credence to it.
Right.
Like they pretty much like uh, they assert things like this, like, oh well, I know what's going on. All right,
Uh-huh.
we're going through this like turning and this like Venus rising, so that's what's going on in my life
Oh,
right now.
right, right.
Like, and they use it as a way to define like
Their behaviors.
this is what's going on in my life right now.
Yeah.
And okay, if that's your worldview, then I'm not going to argue with it. What I find is I don't want to argue with people.
No.
Like for instance, I was thinking I could teach somebody how to play golf really good.
Hmm.
You know how I do? I don't. I go, okay. Like if I'm teaching you how to play golf, I'm gonna
Okay.
say, okay, butterfly, go hit a couple.
Okay.
Just show me your swing. I'm not gonna just completely reinvent your swing.
Oh,
I'm gonna take what you're doing and try to just make it as
tweak
best as you possibly can.
tweak it.
Then tweak it
Yeah.
and say, look, what you're doing is good, but try doing this a little bit, but keep kind of your basic swing going.
Okay.
I'm kind of like that with people's beliefs too,
Yeah.
and their political
You
views.
don't want to completely like throw them off the deep end.
No, I mean,
Maybe we should go play mini golf one day.
I can
You
work
could
on.
help me with that because
Yeah, who knows? Maybe you'll whoop my
I
ass.
I can sometimes not be very good, but the last time I went, I was really good.
I remember. And remember we were talking about that? It's funny because what we were saying is sometimes in life gets really challenging and it's an opportunity for you to become awesome and step up to become as awesome as you need to become.
In something else.
Yeah.
Like when one door closes, another one opens,
Yeah.
right?
That's the way you have to look at
I've
it.
seen that. I've seen that.
I know.
Yeah. And it's hard. It seems hard when that door is closing, but if you read your horoscope, it might tell you that another door is opening and it's going to be a better one.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's kind of what I get from my horoscope. It's always like good things are coming.
Yeah.
Just stop tripping out.
Yeah.
You're exactly where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Q, you know?
Totally.
Q is always going, no, 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 the White Hats are in charge. No, no, no. All this is supposed to take place. Those are body doubles. Everybody's already been in Guantanamo.
I think
Nasera Nasera's coming.
the like, those daily horoscopes that are telling you like it's like a fortune cookie. Um, I think like when you have the chart, it's a little bit more interesting because I feel like it describes more of maybe how you are.
Well, at least
It's
they're
not just
taking,
saying like
yeah.
tomorrow you're gonna like have a really great day and you're gonna
Well, because like think about that. So the horoscope that you get in the paper,
Mhm.
the only
It's
data they have on you is you were born in these 30 days.
yeah, it's kind of
So
vague.
based on that, you got good stuff. It's gonna be fun. It seems like what you're talking about, like the reading or what do you call it? Like
The
the
chart.
chart. You're taking more data.
Yeah.
So where you were born, when you were born, and maybe they're bringing some kind of knowledge about different seasons and different times and different astrological
Alignment.
alignments.
That's why I think there's got to be something to it because it's like the stars and the planets are aligned in a certain way, like right when you're born.
Why would
You know what I mean?
why would the Egyptians build the pyramids right in
Exactly.
alignment with Orion's belt? Like
Totally.
gnarly how they did that.
Yes.
Now you can say, well, they had advanced technology. That's aside from the point. The
Well, they
point
did.
is
They did.
they lined it up with the stars. So for whatever reason, and we might think that the Egyptians might have had a advanced society.
I think they did. I believe they did have an advanced civilization and an advanced technology. And that probably helped them to line that up exactly the way it was. But why did they line it up that way?
Yeah.
There was a reason for that,
So they lent credence
you
to
know?
this. And if what if all their technology was based on it?
And that's how they had that technology.
And maybe that's why it's being suppressed now. Maybe lining stuff up with Orion is because it was like generating gnarly free power. And
Free
maybe they were
electricity.
able to, who knows, maybe they were able to do trans-dimensional travel or something like
I
that.
know. And, this brings up another really good point, which is all of the free technology and free electricity that I believe we had in the previous civilizations. And, remember Tesla, Nikolai Tesla? He talked about that too.
Yeah.
And, that may have all been kind of around some astrological perspective too. The way that they put there were towers like when you look at like all the old cathedrals in like these really old cities, they had these spires like that I
And the
think
blimps would go and
yeah,
attach to them and gas up. They
and
would get
get
charged.
yeah, they would get charged,
And people
electrically
would
charged.
exit the blimp at the top of the cathedral and
Hmm.
walk down the stairs.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I think it may have all had to be lined up in a certain way with stars.
And then all the cathedrals were built around the organ,
Hmm.
and the organ would put out frequencies, and the frequencies would heal your body.
Yeah.
I believe that.
The organ, I don't think they put those big pipe organs in churches for, just for fun. I think there was more to it,
And then the other thing too was the Egyptians, they had very specific angles and shapes in the pyramids.
right?
So, there might be something to this. All I know is let's keep an open mind.
Yeah,
Because
like
why
we
is
do with everything,
if something's evil, then you go, okay, it's evil. But
right?
let's look and let's go down the rabbit hole until we find out it's evil.
Exactly.
I think astrology is kind of a rabbit hole. A little
It's
bit.
total rabbit hole. It's a rabbit hole in the sky.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You instead of digging it, you kind of go climb it.
I'm gonna go read my horoscope.
Go for it. Mine's always bad news, so I'm not gonna read
That
that.
was a good one.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Okay.
They're kicking us out.
Oh, hold on, you're still recording here. Hold on.
Oh,